How you doing today? My name's Dave Whipple and welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, I've ran several YouTube channels. My biggest is a channel called Bush Radical, has 1.1 million subscribers. And I've started this channel to help other folks who are maybe similar to myself. I have a working background, become successful at YouTube. Lots of folks see YouTube. It's this amazing opportunity that any one of us can get into and share our lives, become recognizable at the grocery store if that's your thing, and hopefully, bring value to the world out of your own life, your own experiences, and make a living at it. It's a great thing. So this channel is all about helping you get to that point if that's where you want to go and make better video content, better titles, better thumbnails, find better subjects. Optimize what you have to offer on YouTube. So today I want to talk to you guys about probably the biggest opportunity in YouTube ever. And that is simple subjects. Simple subjects. Now, what am I talking about? It is a pitfall for a lot of people to assume that they have to show big, amazing things. This trip to Asia, my Antarctic expedition, these great expansive ideas on YouTube. I floated the Mississippi in an inner tube. No, now all of those videos could be really good. They could be very, very successful. But most of us don't live in a world like that. Most of us live in just a day-to-day life like everybody else. And we're dealing with things that are simple and mundane, and they're not sexy, right? Fixing your sink is not sexy. It's not, wow, I need to film fixing my sink because that would be awesome. Nobody equates fixing a toilet or fixing a sink or changing a tire or anything like that as being video worthy. But it is. Oh yeah, it really is. It really, really, really is. Some of the best videos on the internet that not only are the most watched, but are the most useful to the biggest group of people are very, very simple videos. I've used this example before. How to fix a toilet. Everybody's got a toilet, right? The biggest video on the internet of how to fix a toilet is it's just a little shy of 20 million views. 20 million views. If that video has a $10 RPM, which is the advertising rate YouTube pays, rate per milli or rate per thousand views. If it has a $10 RPM, that's a $200,000 video fixing a toilet. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I'm sure the biggest video for fixing a sink is just as good. I'm sure that's probably, I haven't looked it up, I'm sure that's probably also a 20 million view video. Those little nuggets, those little how-to videos where you're showing the world something that the world needs, they're evergreen. They can live forever. Until we figure out something to replace the toilet, we all have toilets. Toilets will all break. Same thing with sinks. If you have a sink, you're going to have a leak in your sink sooner or later. You're going to have to replace the faucet sooner or later. You might have to replace a countertop or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of those things, which seem boring, which are not sexy, which are very, very small subjects, very simple subjects. All of those things can be $250,000 videos. And they're so easy to pass over. They're so easy to be like, oh man, my toilet is broke. I have to fix my toilet. Last thing you want to do in a situation like that is fire your camera up and spend 6 hours getting the best shots, showing the fine details, getting everything that you need for an amazing video. You just want the toilet to work so the next person who needs a toilet can use the toilet. That's what you want. But it's a golden opportunity. It really is a golden opportunity to make a video that is going to be useful forever. And extremely valuable, not only to the world with broken toilets, but to you, to your pocketbook, to your bank account, to your future, to the vacation you hope to take this year, to your kids going to college. Fill in the blank. Those simple videos are probably the biggest opportunity available to most of us here on this platform. I shot a video a while back, and I mentioned this before in another video, of how to sharpen a pocket knife. It took me 2 hours to film that probably. It's a quick, dirty little video. Lots of good shots. Color was good. Lighting was good. It was all shot outside. It's got everything in it that I think people need to know to get a good result sharpening their own knives. That video's got almost 700,000 views. It's pretty solid. Very, very small subject. How many times have you seen a video, shorts or a regular video, about how to get a broken bolt out of whatever it's bolted into? There's hundreds of thousands of hours out there of how to extract broken bolts. And they're all valuable. I watch those videos all the time because I like wrenching on my own stuff, and breaking bolts is something that it happens, right? Very small subject, very specific, simple subject, but very, very useful. Very useful, very easy to understand, and more than anything else, it's very searchable. People will type into the search bar the thing that they need to know about. They will look for a video like that. They won't run across it on a Sunday night after a big dinner and be like, wow, I want to watch this video about extracting a broken bolt out of an exhaust manifold or whatever. No, they're going to be in the garage on a Monday night. They're going to bust a bolt and they're going to be like, how do I get this out? They go right to the computer. They type in how to remove a broken bolt, and they look for exactly that thing. Anything that people are going to type into the search bar and look for because they need it, those are all golden opportunities to make a simple video with a big audience that's very useful and will make you a lot of money. Is YouTube all about making money? It's about the lifestyle that you can have when you make a living filming. You can help people out. You can entertain people. You can bring value to people's lives. You can make their lives easier, and you can get paid for it. And you can have 90% of your time back, so you're not on a schedule where you have to punch a clock. It's probably the greatest lifestyle gig that there is. You get this little small taste of fame. If you have a big channel, people recognize you here and there. People thank you for a video that you put out that gives them a solution to a problem they have. That's very rewarding. But for me personally, I absolutely cannot stand schedules. I can't stand schedules. I never have liked schedules. If I've got something I need to do next week, it will ruin the next 6 days between here and then. I don't like my time booked up. I like all of my time to be fluid, I suppose. You know, I can choose to do this, or I can choose to do something else. I can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I never ever do, or I can get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, which unfortunately I do quite a bit because I'm kind of a night owl. I don't own an alarm clock. I've got an alarm on my phone, so if like I need to get up for some reason, I can, but most of the time I go to bed whenever I want. I get up whenever I want. And I focus on doing things that I can turn into videos that are useful to other people. 90% of the stuff that I could film, I don't, because I don't think it's useful. I don't think, you probably understand now that usefulness is a big part of what I think is the most important element of YouTube. Being useful to other people, solving other people's problems, showing other people a way to do whatever that might not have occurred to them before. It's kind of a noble calling in that way. But it will give you the freedom to have all of your time to yourself, as opposed to getting out of work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you got to be in bed by 10, and you get Saturday and Sunday off and maybe 1 or 2 weeks of vacation a year. If you are successful on YouTube, your whole life is basically unscheduled at that point. And for me, that's probably the biggest goal I've been shooting for my whole life is to not be scheduled. I've always wanted a career that was more creative than scheduled. The whole punching the clock thing is, I can't do it. It's just not me. I'd kind of rather live underneath a bridge or live in a wall tent somewhere out in the woods than punch a clock. So YouTube for me has been exactly what I wanted. It's been a way to get what I always wanted to get out of life, which is flexibility with time. And being successful on YouTube has given me the finances to enjoy it. I've got all the free time I need. I've got resources, monetary resources, that I can do stuff I want to do in that free time that I have. It's perfect. And it's all from making content that people want to watch, that people can get value out of it. And a big part of that, not all my videos are like this, but a big part of what I try to do is I try to cover simple subjects. This is a personal note. I'm just talking about my own channel here. I find that a lot of the videos I shoot are demonstration type videos, and a lot of them are they're focused, but they're not as small a subjects as I'm talking about here. I'm always inspired when I see that video that's how to wire a light socket and it's got 20 million views. I'm like, my goodness, why in the world didn't I make that video? Those small subject videos, those simple videos, those little itty bitty tiny hacks and repairs where a YouTuber walks the world through how to do something that everybody's going to have a problem with at one time or another. Whenever I see those, I find them very inspiring. I'm like, that person made probably $250,000 off of a video that might have taken 3 or 4 hours to film. And the reason they did is because it's such a simple but very needed, useful, and important subject to a lot of people. If you want to succeed on YouTube, keep your eyes open for those opportunities to do a simple video on a small, specific subject that's going to have a lot of value to a lot of people. And one last thing. If you find a video that's very basic, how to clean your microwave. I'm sure there's videos out there with millions of views on how to clean a microwave, something like that. Just for example, only riffing. If you run across a video like that and you've got good stuff to add to that, don't ever be discouraged by the fact that there are big videos in that space. Always remember, if you've got something to add, if you can make a better mousetrap, if you can film a better video than the big videos in that space, do it. Compete against the big videos to make a better version of that video. Better shots, better audio, better lighting, more detail, a quicker edit so it doesn't take as long to watch, so it's potent and punchy. You can always compete for market share with big videos that are out there by simply saying, how can I do a better version of this type of video? How can I make the best video on the internet about this little tiny simple subject? I hope that this has been eye-opening. I hope it's given you guys some ideas of all of the opportunities that are out there in the most boring, ordinary places, right under your nose. Things that you would never think would be film-worthy, but ultimately could literally be the gold nuggets in the driveway. Thanks for watching. My name's Dave Whipple. We'll see you on the next one.